Activists say more than 6,000 people are now dead and 11,000 injured in the Iranian protests. The U.S.-based human rights activist news agency also says more than 4,000 people have been arrested since the demonstrations started last month. Meanwhile, U.S. Central Command says a U.S. aircraft carrier and 3 destroyers have arrived in the Middle East to, quote, promote regional security and stability. ABC News chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell and ABC national security and defense analyst Mick Mulroy have more on that. How do you both? So, Ian, what's the latest on these demonstrations in Iran and the government's response?
Yeah, I mean, the demonstrations appear to have petered out, but we're seeing increasingly draconian rules being applied to people on the ground, restrictions on families trying to get the bodies of their loved ones, being forced to pay thousands of dollars, even being forced to pay more the more bullets the victim has actually had. So the situation is very dire. The Iranian authorities continue to issue blood-curdling threats if there is any kind of U.S. military action, that their response will be significant. And you see those concerns reflected around the region. We are slowly getting more and more information out from people on the ground. And one of our colleagues has been speaking to people inside Iran, one saying it was like a nightmare. Every 15 to 16 feet there was a body on the street. An Iranian woman telling ABC News the next morning blood was frozen on the pavement, splattered on the walls. And we're hearing this pattern being repeated and repeated as the scale of what took place there is even now still only becoming apparent.
Mick, how significant is it that the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Group is in the Middle East?
Very significant, Diane. It is one of the most advanced weapon systems, naval weapon systems in the world. Literally a 5-acre flight deck with over 80 combat aircraft and the accompanying 4 other ships and 2 destroyers. And that's right in the Middle East. There's also the USS George Bush in the Mediterranean, which can be used also not only to potentially take strikes against Iran, but also defend Israel if that becomes necessary. So the U.S. has put in place a very significant amount of military capacity.
So, Mick, what do you make of how Israel and the Gulf states are responding to the unrest in Iran?
So there is, of course, a lot of concern that if the U.S. strikes Iran again, that Iran will then strike at the facilities that are located in many of these countries, right? So El Udeid is the forward command for CENTCOM and one of the major air hubs for the United States. It's located in Qatar. That was attacked last time. We shot all the missiles down, but it's still, of concern to Qatar and others in the region. But it's clear, at least to me, that the U.S. is doing this for the actual use of force. I think they would like to see Iran come to the negotiation table, but it's really unclear whether they're willing to do so on U.S. terms. And the terms would be not just no nuclear weapon, no ballistic missile program, no support for proxies like Hezbollah, like Hamas. It's unclear if Iran will be willing to accept those terms.
All right, Mick Mulroy, Ian Pannell, thank you both.